Um, I have to say, all the stuff that's on the face of dialogue between front covers of videos, you, you can literally put a front cover of anything on the video that you're putting on YouTube nowadays, and they are actually what they're doing is it's quite that it is it would be that the front covers are are altered slightly to show different people's opinions of psychologies psychologies of certain people responding to a psychological problem. The psychological problem I see reformed is what they would do with Iran's sort of problems. These sort of problems are really not technically anybody else's in any other continent because they do not run through the same place anymore. What they've done is they've taken what used to be the corridor from the Black Sea out to all the multi-continents around the world, and some of them were going across land through sea routes, through railway routes, through Eastern and Central Europe, and furthermore onto across Estonia onto Scandinavia. These were the secret little routes that were not secret; they were pass it on parcel. I would like to say that I am serious to say that Iran really has had its land stolen over 60 or 70 years now, and that the place, the Octagon, is been taken money from European investment for seed funding, and that is really has been a theft of a multi what trade through more than one continent, and that has been parts and parcels, and business and trade has been given only the fact that wars have come and gone and people have survived. But now we have this claim that people have to do whatever people say, and that's a tyrant. That is a tyrant that does that. So I'd like to say that they all got together, and what they did is they said we'll go to where the money is, and it was Emirates and Saudi Arabia, but they've all had a war against each other. All that time, they've been fighting for the land and stolen the land, which was formerly the state of Iran, going back hundreds of centuries. But I see, I see that the Black Sea is where everybody wants to agree, where they have agreed, and it's taken somebody that thinks he hasn't got a home anywhere in the world, and he's had 3 or 4 descendants confuse his head. He doesn't know where he's come from. He forgets who he is, and he doesn't know how to run politics. And then we have the same problem in multiple countries. So what it is not really an impression or an impersonation. It is just for you to listen to poshly clearly that I believe that they've all run out of money, and they're all trying to make sure they can get seed funding from each other, and they're trying to make money out of their governments by reducing costs and overheads. And all that's happening is that really a lot of them are criminals. So I see that Iran has a problem, that it's been misjudged. Iran has the right to have whatever it wants, as long as it doesn't become aggressive to everybody else. But also, Iran has a right to believe in its beliefs. Whatever pages they're written on, they all sum up to the same thing: respect thy neighbour. And hope they don't hurt you. I think the Iranian problem shall be that they need us to support them. They're being picked on by some big people from 70 years worth of breakdown of Soviet Union. And Soviet Union doesn't work. It's tried, tested, and failed. And everybody else is not really Russian. They're all Swedish. They're all Swedish, dropped off from Nazi boats during Nazi problems. Anybody, that is narcissism, anybody that doesn't believe in a faith or go to a church and respect women. That could be porn, that could be modern slavery, that could be sexism, that could be any of those. And this is what I say. Let's settle. I think Iran should be given every right and courtesy. And also, they should be given diplomacy in the international area of New York at the Council of the New York, that thing, the New York United Nations, and policies of representation of diplomacy. And that's where these aggressors of every other country should fall away, not welcome over the line. Take your hatred and your argument somewhere else. We're dealing with people that want to talk about peace. As far as what would you do to make your revenue if you were running businesses in a world where nobody pays any money to people in advertising, because all that happens is media is a bunch of lies and policies are broken and people do not want to pay money for old rope. It would seem that television has become so buy this, and it's fad, and everybody's collecting all the money and nothing's being prosperous, because try it for 20 days and take it back again, and all these other adverts, everything's same as it always has been. Any ideas? I remember when I was at university, and the field chair was a guy called John Snow. He was Channel 4 or Channel 5, I can't remember, but he was Chancellor to the Brookes University where I studied. And John Snow has been around with news desks and policies around news desks for a very long time. Very good old chap, John Snow. I'm wondering about who can be a director of something whilst they're in running for states of appeals in a political capacity of running social media, running a TV media, running a business in media, running newspapers, and newspapers have been known to be biased on who they're going to run through the parties. who's going to be the parties? Well, if you can't arrange anything without a beer tent, then you haven't got a drink at a party. So I would like to say, this is really trying to be serious, but if you had your own television broadcasting assembly and then you went to run the country to a reform, then that would only be if you answered all the questions and you did all those things that you're making money correctly and then doing the best for everybody else. We have the House of Lords, and the Lords are generally picked up from commercial people. They have jobs of certain conscience of considerable control, and those people still make money, and they make lots of money, and they come into government and move everything around. I sometimes wonder, is it a pastime or is it a real first love job? So, I mean, we've had this guy that's run London Mayor thing for quite some time, and he's done a good job. He did a good job, and then there's other people. How's the impression going, by the way? It's not meant to be Boris Johnson. It's just somebody for you to get to listen to me. So, I like Boris. He was done over. And the people that have done him over have made a worse job of our economy. And they've made alliances around the world. And everybody's backstabbing everybody. To the guy from the Reform, you wouldn't want to go back to the same guy that you tried to say was okay. Because he wasn't. And he isn't. And he still makes a mistake. He hasn't remembered who he is. I don't know. Who is he?